Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Steffi and today our topic is the top 5 tips on how to answer the first question in an interview. So we all know that 99.9% of the time the first question in an interview is kind of like an icebreaker where you are asked to tell either something about yourself or what skills and attributes do you bring to this role. It's more like an introduction, your introduction to the interview panel. Even though the question says, tell me something about yourself, there are certain things that you need to be aware of, how to structure your answer. So in these top 5 tips, we're going to cover how to structure your answer for these questions, what to say and what not to say. Okay, a top 1 on how to answer the question of tell me something about yourself. Start with the present. What role you're currently doing? What sort of job are you doing? And how is this role that you're doing currently relevant to the position that you're applying for? And when you're talking about your current role or your present role, if you have had an accomplishment or if you won an award or an achievement or something like that, make sure to highlight it in this section when you talk about your current role. And you could say things like, in my current role, I work as a marketing manager and my role involves A, B, C, D. And I have been in this role for 5 years, for example. And then you can slot in your achievement or an award or a good work that you have done. And you can say, in this role, I was able to achieve this with the help of my team through hard work and dedication. If the position you're applying for is in a leadership role or management role, you can say that I demonstrated good leadership and management skills in leading my team to achieve this target. That's one example. Or if you're a new graduate nurse and you haven't really worked in the clinical areas, but there are always things that you have done as a student when you were in your placement. There's something that you notice and that's something that makes you stand out, or something that you have observed and point out and question, where you can display the use of your clinical skills or clinical judgment. You don't necessarily always have to have experience in the field. There are a lot of things, even as student nurse or as a student in any field, that you see things that you have questioned, that you ask your teachers, and that you were given a positive feedback about. Anything that gets you a positive feedback, you can use those sort of things as an achievement or to highlight that you're very competent. So you've talked about your present, what you're doing currently, and top number 2 is talk about your past. What kind of job have you done in the past, and experiences that you've had in the past that led to where you are in your current role. So when you're talking about your past professional experiences in front of an interview panel, make sure that you know how to tie in your past experience, the relevance of it, to this position that you're applying for. Let's give an example of when you were a trainee before you became a professional. You can talk about the skills that you have used in that past experiences and bring it to how relevant it is to this position that you're going for. For example, you can say, when I was undergoing my training or at the start of my career or in my past role, I had to get on the phone and talk to our customers, explain the products, and that helped me build my communication skills and my interaction with people that I think is going to be really helpful and valuable for this position. So that's how you tie in your past experiences with this current role that you're going for. Because when you're able to talk about your past experiences and bring it in together to show that you have a strong experience behind you to help you be successful in this role, that is what will get you the job. So in our top 2 tips, we've talked about talking about your present and your past. And it's always, as I mentioned earlier, guys, it's always important to try and bring those experiences, whether what you're doing in your role right now or what you have done in the previous role in your past, over 10 years ago, whatever, all the skills that you have learned throughout your professional life or even as a student and a trainee are all the skills that you can transfer into this current role, and see how you can link what you've done before to what you're going to do in the future if you were to get this role. So that will help you stand out amongst all the other candidates and possibly land you the job. Now, coming to our tip number 3 is talk about your future. So when we say talk about your future, talk about your future aspirations. Talk about how you see yourself growing in this role if you were to get this position. Talk about why you are interested in this position. Talk about why you are interested in this position and what this position means for you. For example, you can say things like, I am really interested in this position because I have good time management, I have good communication skills, I have good conflict resolution skills. You can talk about your skills and how you can use it in this role. An example of how you can demonstrate to the interviewers how you're going to use those skills in this position is, for example, especially if it's a team environment, well, let's face it, we all work in a team in one way or the other. So you can say, this position involves teamwork, and I think I will excel in this position because I'm a good team player, I have excellent communication skills, I have good problem solving skills, conflict resolution skills, etc. That's how you show off your skills, and you bring all your skills in together to show how you can shine in this role if you were given the job. Tip number 4 is keep your answers professional. Just because they say tell me something about yourself, it doesn't mean that you go into extreme details about your family. All they want to know, yes, it's nice to have a little bit of personal information there just to keep it natural and give it a personal touch. But at the same time, make sure this is a professional interview. You're interviewing for a job. Keep it professional. What skills you have, what attributes you have, because this is the time for you to really shine and sell yourself. This question really, if you nailed it, will set the tone for the rest of the interview. This is where you really advertise your skills. You can talk about all the skills and clinical experiences or in experience in any field and your knowledge to show and put it on display out for them to see that you are really the right person or the right candidate for this job. Now, coming to our tip number 5, last but not the least, as I like to say, because they're all equally important, is do not repeat what's already in your resume. They've read through your resume, they don't want to hear it again from you. It shouldn't be a citation of what's already on your resume. If you look at it, an interview is really where you get to display your communication skills. You show off your potential employer that this is how I'm going to be when in a team meeting or in a team setting. This is how I'm going to present my ideas and my opinions, and this is how I can communicate professionally. So these are all the things that you need to keep in mind when answering the question, tell me something about yourself, or what skills and attributes do you bring, or even the question, why do you think you're the perfect candidate for this job? So you can always bring all your past experiences, present experience, bring them together, find a way to tie in with the position that you're applying for, show them that your experiences in the past and your experience in your current role are all relevant to this job, and demonstrate and show that you are the right person for this position. All right, guys, that's our top 5 tips on how to answer the first questions. If you find any value in this video, please don't forget to put a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.